ለመማር ወደ ትምህርት ተቋም መሄድ ግድ አይደለም። ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
ራሳችሁን ከኮሮና ቫይረስ ወረርሽኝ እየጠበቃችሁ በቤታችሁ ወይም በተመቻችሁ ቦታ በኢንተርኔት አማካኝነት በኦንላይን ትምህርታችሁን መከታተል ትችላላችሁ።
ካናዳ ከሚገኘው ኢንተርናሽናል ኤር ትራንስፖርት አሶሲዬሽን አያታና ከእንግሊዙ ኢንስቲትዩት ኦፍ ኮመርሻል ማኔጅመንት ICM ጋር በመተባበር የሚሰጡ ትምህርቶችን ተከታትላችሁ በ6 ወር ጊዜ በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ ተቀባይነት ያለውን የስልጠና ማስረጃ ባለቤት መሆን ይቻላል።
ልምድ ባላቸው መምህራን እየተማራችሁ ጥያቄና መልስ የክፍል ስራዎች ፈተና መፈተን ክፍል ውስጥ እንዳላችሁት አይነት በኦንላይን ባላችሁበት ቦታ ከናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ
የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ
Mr. Can I ask one question about the taxi?
Yeah.
Can I ask, sometimes plane taxi በሚያደርጉበት ሰዓት በቬሂክልስ ይታገዛሉ ላይክ በመኪና ምናምን እሱንም ታክሲ ብለን መጥራት እንችላለን አይደለ?
ይሄ ማርሻለር ፎሎ ሚ የሚለው ነው።
ምን አለኝ ሚስተር?
ፎሎ ሚ የሚለው ከኋላ አውሮፕላን ከኋላ ሆኖ ከፊት መኪና ፎሎ ሚ የሚል ይለጥፋል። እሱን ነው የምትለኝ?
ኦኬ መኪና ይስበዋል አውሮፕላኑ ማለት ነው። ታክሲ ያደርጋል።
እሱ ሜንቴናንስ ነው። እሱ ጋራዡ ክፍል ነው የሚስበው። ፊቱን ለማዞር ነው እንዲመቸው ነው። አዘርዋይስ አውሮፕላኑ ልዙር ምናምን ቢል ሌላ አውሮፕላን ይገጫል።
ኦኬ
ፊቱን ያስተካክልና ሲቆሙ አይተህ እንደሆነ ፊታቸውን ወደ መንገደኛ ወደሚቆምበት ነው ፊታቸውን ሁሉ ጊዜ። ምክንያቱም እዛ ስክሪን አለ እዛ መንገደኞች የሚሳፈሩበት ጋር አንድ ስክሪን አለ ላይ የተለጠፈ አንተ ማንም ኖትስ አያደርገው ፓይለቱ ብቻ ነው የሚያየው ከአውሮፕላን ውስጥ ሆኖ ያሳየዋል። ልክ እንደ ትራፊክ መብራት ቀይ ቢጫ አረንጓዴ ያሳየዋል እና በሱ ያየ ነው የሚያስተካክለው። ከዛ ፓርክ ያደርጋል አደረገ መንገደኞቹን ኦፍሎድ ያደርጋል። Okay, somebody is coming and connecting to audio or something. Okay, እሺ መንገደኞቹን ያወርዳል። ይሄ አፍተር ላንዲንግ ነው እንግዲህ ምልህ ሌሎች መንገደኞች ይጭናል። የአውሮፕላን ዝም ብሎ አይቆምም። አውሮፕላኑ ከተጫነ በኋላ ቅድም ያልከውን ላመጣልህ ነው። አሁን ታወሩን ታክሲ ክሊራንስ ይጠይቀዋል። መጀመሪያ ኤንጂን ስታርት ይጠይቀዋል። ክሊር ቱ ስታርት ኤንጂን ይላል። ከፈለገ አይ ሪኩዌስት ቶዊንግ ኦፍ ዘ ኤርክራፍት ይላል። አውሮፕላኑ ለመጎተት ክሊራንስ ይጠይቃል። ሁሉ ነገር በክሊራንስ ነው። ወይ ግራውንድ ኮንትሮሉ ነው የሚሰጠው ወይ ኮንትሮል ታወሩ ነው። ከሁለቱ አንዱ እንደ ሴትአፕ ነው እንደ አገሩ ነው። ያንን ክሊር ቱ ታግ ዘ ኤርክራፍት ወይም ቱ ቶ ዘ ኤርክራፍት ካለ አውሮፕላን መጎተት ይቻላል ካለ ለሜንቴናንስ ደግሞ ይነግረዋል። ኮክፒት ሆኖ ከአውሮፕላኑ ስር አይተህ ነው ሰዎች አሉ የሚሯሯጡ እንደ ሄድሴት አድርገው they are talking with the pilot ፓይለቱ ምን ይላቸዋል? ክሊራንስ ስላገኘው ጎትቱኝ ይላቸዋል። ይጎትቱትና አውሮፕላኑ ፊቱን ወደ ታክሲ ሬዲ አድርገው ይጠብቁታል። አሁን ፊቴን ወደ ታክሲ አድርጌ ቆሜያለሁ ተደላድያለሁ እና ታጉን ንቀሉት ይላል። መጎተቻውን ማለት ነው። መጎተቻውን ንቀላል። ከዛ በኋላ ታወሩን ታክሲ ክሊራንስ ይጠይቀዋል። ልነቃነቅ ማለቱ ነው። አውሮፕላኑ በገዛ ኃይሉ ፊት ተጎትቶ ነው ሄዶ እንደ ህፃን ልጅ ልክ እንደ አመት በዓል በግ ማለት ነው። የአመት በዓል በግ ተጎትቶ ነው ሄዶ አይደል ይታረድ አይደለም እንዴ?
ልክ ነው።
ኦኬ አሁን ተጎትቶ መጣ። አሁን እኔ ዝግጁ ነኝ ጉተታው አበቃ ታክሲ ክሊራንስ ይላል። ታክሲ ክሊራንስ አሁን ወደ ቴክ መንደርደሪያው ማለት ነው። መንደርደሪያ ነው። ራንዌይ ማለት መንደርደሪያ ነው። ወደ መንደርደሪያው ሊሄድ ብሎ ሲለው ክሊራንስ ይጠይቃል። ያ ክሊራንስ ታክሲ ክሊራንስ ነው። Now that taxi clearance has a limit አለው። ቀጥታ ራንዌይ ውስጥ ግባም ሊለው ይችላል ትራፊክ ከሌለ። ትራፊክ ካለ ግን እንዲህ አይነት ቦታ ከደረስክ በኋላ ቁም ይለዋል። ማርክድ ናቸው በየቦታው A2 A1 G7 F5 ምናምን ሄደ G5 ላይ ምናምን ቁም ይለዋል። ከኮክፒት ያየዋል። እሱ እንደዚህ ያየዋል፣ ይታየዋል። ተንቀላል ከዛ በኋላ አሁን ሬዲ ሲሆን ታወሩ ሌላ ፍላይት አለመኖሩን ሲያውቅ ያንን አውሮፕላን ይጠራና ክሊር ቱ ኢንተር ዘ ራንዌይ ይለዋል። መንደርደሪያ ውስጥ ግባ ነው። ከገባ በኋላ ቴክ ኦፍ አያደርግም። ሪኩዌስት ቴክ ኦፍ ክሊራንስ ይላል። አንሌስ ዘ ታወር ክሊርስ ሂም ወይም ክሊርስ ሄር። የሴትን ፓይለት ስላለ የሴት ካፕቴንም አለ። ወይም ሁለቱን አንድ ጋር ለማድረግ አንሌስ ዘ ታወር ክሊርስ ኢትን በለው አውሮፕላኑን። አንሌስ ዘ ታወር ክሊርስ ኢት ዳዝ ኖት ቴክ ኦፍ። ክሊር ቱ ቴክ ኦፍ ተብሎ ኮንፈርም ክሊር ቱ ቴክ ኦፍ ይላል። አፈርማቲቭ ክሊር ቱ ቴክ ኦፍ። ኦኬ ያኔ ተንደርድሮ ይነሳል። አሁን ጠይቀኝ፣ ምንድነው ያንተ ጥያቄ? እንግዲህ
የኔ ጥያቄ ያው ታክሲ የሚለውን በመሳቡ የሚሳበውን የምናየው በመኪና የሚሳበውንም እሱንም ታክሲ አድርጌ ነበር የማስበው።
አይደለም አውሮፕላኑ በገዛ ኃይሉ ሲነቃነቅ አንደር ኢትስ ኦን ፓወር።
ገብቶኛል። አመሰግናለሁ።
ቲቸር ይሰማል?
ያ ማን ነው? ማልበን
ሚኒሊክ።
ኦይ ሚኒሊክ፣ ጉድ ሞርኒንግ። የስ ይሰማል።
እሺ ጥያቄ ነበረኝ ስለ ኪዩኤንኤች እና ስለ ፍላይት ሌቭል ነበርና አሁን አልቲሜትር ካልኩሌት ያደርግና በየ30 ፊት ወደ ላይ ሲሄድ 1 ሄክቶፓስካል ድሮፕ ያደርጋል ፕሬሸር እና በዛ ውስጥ
what 30 ፊት
30 ፊት ወደ ላይ አፕ ሄደ ቁጥር 1 ሄክቶፓስካል ድሮፕ ያደርጋል ፕሬሸሩ ማለት ነው።
የት ጋር ነው እንደዛ የሚለው? ተምረናል ወይ? አሁን የምንማረው ፊት የተማራችሁትን አይደለም። አሁን የምንማረው we are talking about communication.
Okay.
ኮሙኒኬሽን ውስጥ አለ ይሄ።
ስለ ፍላይት ሌቭል ለመጠየቅ ነበር። ስለ ኪዩኤንኤች እና ስለ ፍላይት ሌቭል ነበር ለመጠየቅ።
በቃ ሁለቱ ብቻ፣ ምክንያቱም ሌላውን ኮንፊውዝ እንዳናደርግ ነው። ፍላይት ሌቭል is the height above sea level. ኦኬ ኪዩኤንኤችን ሴት ስታደርግ ፍላይት ሌቨል ነው የሚሰጥህ ወይም the height above sea level። ኦኬ ኪዩኤፍኢ ሴት ስታደርግ የኤርፖርት ኤሌቬሽን ነው የሚሰጥህ።
አቤት አይሰማም።
ኪዩኤፍኢ ሴት ስታደርግ ያለበትን የኤርፖርት ከፍታ ነው የሚሰጥህ። elevation of the airport.
So አሁን ኪዩኤንኤች ራሱን አፕዴት ያደርጋል። እያንዳንዱ ኤርክራፍት አፕዴት ያደርጋል እና ለምን ፍላይት ሌቭል መናገር ያስፈልጋል? ፍላይት ሌቭል አንዱ ኤርክራፍት ከአንዱ ኤርክራፍት ጋር ያላቸው አልቲቲዩድ ንጽጽረት ነው አይደል የሚናገረው። ለምን በኪዩኤንኤች አፕዴት እያደረጉ ፓይለቶች ለምን ታወሩም ላይ ያሉ ሰዎች ለምን በኪዩኤንኤች አፕዴት በማድረግ ፍላይት ሌቭላቸውን ለምን አያውቁም? ከአንዱ ኤርክራፍት ጋር
ላይ በሚወጣ ጊዜ እኮ ይቀይረዋል። ኪዩኤንኤቹ ይቀየራል፣ በኪዩኤንኢ ይቀየራል። ኪዩኤንኢ there is another pressure reference QNE የሚሉት ኢንተርናሽናል።
ኦኬ
ሶዛ ሌሎች አውሮፕላኖች በሚበሩበት ጊዜ ዩኒፎርም እንዲሆኑ ነው። አንደኛው በኪዩኤፍኢ አንተ የምትለው አውሮፕላን አንተ የምትናገረው ፍላይት ደግሞ በኪዩኤንኤች፣ ሌላው በኪዩኤንኢ ከሆነ የመጋጨት እድላቸው ሃይ ነው።
ፍላይት ሌቭል ያስታርቃቸዋል ማለት ነው።
አዎ አየህ ሴት የሚያደርጉበት አለ ታይም። ኦኬ ታወር ትራንስፈር ያደርጋል አፕሮቹ ትራንስፈር በሚያደርግበት ጊዜ ወደ አፕሮች የሚቀይርበት ጊዜ አለ። ትራንዚሽን አልቲቲዩድ ትራንዚሽን ሌቨል የሚባል ነገር አለ ታወሩ ላይ። ያ ሁሉ ኮንፊውዥን እንዳልፈጥርባቸው ነው እዚህ። አየህ አሁን we are talking about aviation communication only. When we come to air traffic control service ATC ማለት ነው we have another class. አሁን አንተ የምትለኝ ናቪጌሽን ውስጥ ነው ያለው። ናቪጌሽን ክላስ ፕራክቲካሊ ብላክቦርድ ከሌለ አይቻልም ተብሎ ካልኩሌሽን ብዙ ካልኩሌሽን ስላለው ተብሎ ዲሌይድ ሆኗል። አሁን አንተ የምትለው ከኔ ክላስ በፊት መጥቶ ቢሆን ኖሮ ሁሉም ይማረዋል፣ አንተም ተምረዋል። ዜን አንተ የምትጠይቀው ጥያቄ ይገባቸው ነበር። አሁን we didn't learn about navigation. We didn't learn about air traffic control. That's why ትላንት ዳውንዊንድ ቤላይ ፋይናል ሁሉ ቶሎ ሊገባቸው ያልቻለ ያውም ጎበዞች ናቸው። በትግል ነው የገባቸው። አልተማሩትማ። ገብቷል? ምን ልክ? ኦኬ። ብዙ ነገሮች አሉ። ያሬድ ሌላ ነገር ያውቃል ስለ ፍላይት ሜቢ ኤሮዳይናሚክስ maybe Rosina was a pilot, I understand. Nadir was a navigator, most probably, yes. But we are learning now about aviation communication. ይሄ ትምህርት ከሌሎቹ በኋላ ቢሆን ኖሮ ጥሩ ነበር። ግን due to this virus problem, everything got messed up.
I understand.
ለዛ ነው ሲኮንሱን ያጣው ለዛ ነው። ኦኬ ናዲር ጉድ ሞርኒንግ።
Good morning, teacher.
Yeah, I've seen you. Rosina is not available.
Good morning, teacher. I'm here.
Good morning. Oh, I saw you now. Okay. All right. We are on page, what page did you say, Yared? 131?
Yeah,
Yes.
131.
131, okay. When a taxi clearance contains a taxi limit beyond the runway, it shall contain an explicit clearance to cross or an instruction to halt short of that runway. Okay. When a taxi clearance contains taxi limit beyond the runway, when the taxi limit is there, it shall contain explicit clearance to cross or an instruction to halt short of that runway. The instruction has to be clear and easily understandable. It should not have any complication. It has to be clear. The instruction has to be clear. As I told you yesterday, modern airports like London, which is Heathrow Airport, New York Airport, Frankfurt, and all the like, do have so many runways. So after crossing one runway, you might have another taxiway before you join the other runway. That's what it's saying. When a taxi clearance contains a taxi limit beyond the runway, you see, you have passed one runway, then there is a taxiway. Now it has become beyond a runway. when you give such kind of intricate, such kind of difficult clearance, it has to be explicit. It has to be easily understandable and clear. No complication, no garbling, no nothing. It has to be clear. At busy aerodromes, like London or New York, the one I told you, or China or Tokyo or something like that. At busy aerodromes with separate ground and tower functions, aircraft are usually transferred to the tower at or when approaching the taxi holding point. At busy airports, the ground control transfers all aircraft to the control tower when the aircraft approaches the holding point. The holding point is a point where an aircraft taxis to and holds before it enters the runway. An aircraft leaves apron, the terminal, passenger area, taxis out to the runway, but holds somewhere before it enters the runway. That is the holding point. Why does it hold there? Maybe there is a landing aircraft. Maybe there is a taking off aircraft. It's full of movement. It's not only you which is flying. Ethiopian Airlines itself, as I told you, has over 123 aircraft ready for operation. So it's a busy airport also. Bole is not an easy airport. It's busy actually, even though it's not as busy as London and New York, but it's busy. So it says the ground control transfers all aircraft to the control tower before the taxiing aircraft enters the runway, meaning as soon as the aircraft approaches the holding point, the ground control transfers that aircraft to the tower. And now the tower is controlling you. The tower is the one now giving you the authority to enter the runway and take off. The ground control is only the authority on ground, that's all. Taxi instructions. Example, as I told you, whenever there is a complication, whenever there is something you don't understand in the literature, in the context, go to the example. It will elaborate everything. The example, counter-check with the literature, go back. Now read the literature, you'll understand better after the example. If you understand the example, well, it's good. You don't have to go back. But if you don't understand it, go back to the literature and counter-check whether you are right or not. Okay. Example. Controller. Golf Charlie Delta. That is Golf Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. He overlooked Alpha Bravo just to save time. Golf Charlie Delta, expedite taxi traffic on final runway 24. He says, Golf Charlie Delta, expedite taxi traffic on final runway 24. There is a traffic on final runway 24. Now you understand the word final, the one we saw yesterday, downwind, bed leg final. You remember? This one. You remember? Downwind,
Yes.
bell leg,
Yes.
and final.
Yeah.
So this literature says, it says, Golf Charlie Delta, expedite taxi traffic on final runway 24. Meaning, Golf Charlie Delta has already landed on the runway, but it has to leave the runway as fast as possible. Expedite taxing አፍጥነው ነው። እዚህ ውይይት ታክሲ ምናምን ስንከራይ ሁሉ የት ነው የሚሄዱት ጋሼ ይልሃል አይደለም እንዴ? ውይይት ላይ ሚኒባስ ላይ ማለት ነው። የት ነው የሚሄደው? መርካቶ አፍጥነው ይልሃል። እሱን ማለት ነው ይሄ ኤክስፐዳይት ታክሲ። በቃ አፍጥነው ማለት ነው። that's exactly what it is. ክሊር ነው ያሬድ?
አዎ ክሊር ነው።
Clear. Okay. So there is another aircraft on final. Now final, you will understand better. There is an aircraft on final. Expedite taxi. Afternoon taxi clearance. ትንሽ ቤንዚል ቸለራ ስጥ ቤንዚል ስጠው ነው። ሌላ ታሪክ የለም። ፓይለት ጎልፍ ቻርሊ ዴልታ ኤክስፐዳይቲንግ። እሺ እያፈጠንኩ ነው። በቃ ፓይለት ጎልፍ ቻርሊ ዴልታ ራንዌይ ቫኬትድ። ራንዌውን ወጥቻለሁ ጨርሻለሁ። የምታሳርፈውን አውሮፕላን አሳርፍ ነው። I have finished taxiing out. I have cleared the runway. Tell the other aircraft whatever you want to tell. Golf Charlie Delta, Roger, Roger. Roger. Roger means okay. You have already read about Roger, Wilco, transmit blind, word twice, everything. We'll come back again. We'll revise it once again before I give you the examination. We'll come over it, okay? Example. Again, taxi instructions. Durban Tower. He went to Durban. Okay. Durban Tower, Golf Charlie Delta, Golf Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. At the fuel station, request taxi to Flying Club. This is very simple. This aircraft is in Durban, as you know. It's in Durban. It's a light aircraft, most probably. It says it's on ground. It's on ground, okay? It says it is at the fuel station on ground where there is fuel. It has already refueled. It wants to taxi to Flying Club. There is a club, what they call Flying Club. It's on ground. Any movement has to have a clearance. You cannot move from place to place if you are in aircraft. You cannot do that. You are not authorized to do that because you don't know what happens. You don't know what's going on. There is a ground movement here and there. As I told you, 123 aircraft around there. Maybe in Durban, they have 400 aircraft. So you have to watch out. You have to have clearance. Controller, Golf Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta, taxi. It's giving her taxi clearance. Golf Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta, taxi via taxiway Charlie to holding point 24. It's giving it taxi clearance, holding point 24. Pilot, via taxiway Charlie, holding point 24, Golf Charlie Delta, Golf Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. That is the name of the aircraft, registration mark. The pilot, Golf Charlie Delta, approaching holding point, request cross runway 24. You see? The clearance limit was the holding point. As I told you, there are 2 runways now in Durban. The pilot is saying, Golf Charlie Delta, approaching holding point. holding point on the taxiway. Request cross runway 24. I want to cross runway 24. He is using the other runway. Not runway 24, but the other runway. He wants to have a clearance. Very simple. Golf Charlie Delta, hold short runway 24. No. The control tower says no. Hold short means no. Do not. Do not enter the runway. Pilot, holding short. Understood. Rosina, did you understand everything there?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Actually, this communication is between the pilot
The
and
controller.
the
Controller.
controller. Yeah. Why does the dispatcher learn this? Why? If the whole thing is between the controller and, but you have to know what is going on there. It so happens that your pilot, suppose the National Airways pilot, you are in your office as a dispatcher, comes and talks to you. He has a complaint about the area control center or the approach control center, the approach control or the control tower. What it did to him, something wrong. They cleared him to such position. He had an emergency descent, or he had a taxi clearance, wrong clearance, and all the like. He wants to communicate to you. Unless you learn this, unless you understand this, how does he communicate to you? He cannot communicate it to you because you don't know. So now you are ready, you have learned about it, you know what taxi clearance is, you know what taxiing means, you know about terminal, about holding point, about runway, holding short, about the runway itself, and all the like. Example again, Golf Charlie Delta, cross runway 24, report vacated, continue, report vacated, continue to flying club. What? Wait a minute. Golf Charlie Delta, cross runway 24, report. I think there is something missing there. There is something missing. Golf Charlie Delta, cross runway 24, report vacated. Continue to flying club. Most probably, this aircraft landed. He wanted to cross the runway. He crossed. Report vacating the runway, I think. Report vacating the runway. Continue to flying club. This aircraft landed on runway 24. No, he landed on the other runway. He wanted to cross runway 24 and continue taxi to flying club. So the controller is answering to that aircraft, Golf Charlie Delta, cross runway 24, crossing is approved, report vacating the runway, continue to flying club. It's very simple, I think. There is something missing anyway. That's how I thought. It's not that much significant. It's just for you to know about the words, about the phraseologies, the terminologies the pilot and the control tower are using. Pilot, Golf Charlie Delta crossing. Pilot, Golf Charlie Delta runway vacated, you see? So he's vacating the runway. Very good. Golf Charlie Delta, Roger. Takeoff procedures. Now, a departing aircraft starts from the terminal, passenger terminal, boards the passengers, taxis to the runway or holding point, which is the clearance limit. And when the tower clears it, he goes to the runway for takeoff. Now it's talking about the takeoff procedures. Misunderstanding in the granting and acknowledgement of takeoff clearances can result in serious consequences. Yared, can you explain?
Okay. I think it means that the pilot and the controller are, if there are misunderstanding about the takeoff clearance, maybe they can happen the serious injuries or the crash or other something disaster.
Okay, Rosina.
Okay, teacher. Every information in communication should be clear. Otherwise, there will be some some safety
Some serious
problems.
consequence.
Yeah, serious consequences. So
That's
it should
the
be
whole
clear.
idea. That is it. Communication has to be clear. That is the most important. That's why it says everything has to be explicit, clear, and easy to understand. Misunderstanding in the granting and acknowledgement of takeoff clearances can result in serious consequences. If you misunderstand the clearance, and if you acknowledge in the wrong way, for which you didn't have any clearance, then you'll have a problem. So, to avoid all these things, clear communication, explicit communication, short and precise communication is the most fruitful. Okay, Nadir, can you read the second phrase, the second paragraph, I'm saying? Second paragraph. Nadir. Okay, Menelik, can you read the second paragraph?
Okay. Care should be taken to ensure that the phraseology employed during the taxi maneuvers cannot be interpreted as clearance to enter the runway or take off.
Would you mind reading it again? Would you mind reading it again clearly?
Care should be taken to ensure that the phraseology.
Phraseology.
Okay.
Phraseology.
Yes, phraseology. Yeah. Employed during the
What is it? Sorry. What is phraseology?
Phraseology.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know the meaning. I'm sorry.
It has been there. I have been crying, teaching about physiology. What is Yared? What is it?
ፊዚዮሎጂ ኤግዛክት ትርጉሙ የቃላት አደራደር ስልት ነው። ያነጋገር ስልት የአቪዬሽን
Yes, that's
Particular mode of expression.
No, physiology, terminology, acronym. We have been discussing a lot about it. For the past 1 week, we have been discussing. Okay, anyway, I'll go over it. Care should be taken to ensure that the phraseology employed during the taxi maneuvers cannot be interpreted as a clearance to enter the runway or take off. Meaning, Rosina.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, what is that? The second paragraph. It's very important.
Yeah, we have to be sure and we have to care about every using the language that we use, the physiologies, everything. We have to be sure and we have to care about it.
Yeah, but there is one very strong explanation there. Care should be taken of what? Nadir, second paragraph. Please read and explain. Second paragraph. Read it slowly for yourself. Read it slowly for yourself and explain to me.
Okay. Yeah, teacher, I understood like it should be it should be given importance. The phraseology means the sentences or the words used during the takeoff, during the clearance of the runway or
What
takeoff.
clearance? What clearance?
The type of taxi clearance.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Taxi clearance, yes. And then what? Okay.
The type of taxi clearance to enter the runway or take off before departure and after arrival. So it has to be interpreted means understandable way, in a clear way. They are running from misunderstanding or misinterpretation of the words or phraseologies.
Okay. I will elaborate.
Okay.
The idea is there, but the joining of the sentences are not clear, especially for students. As a teacher, I have understood, no problem, but others could not understand. There is a possibility that they could not understand. Care should be taken to ensure that. Okay, any kind of taxi instruction should be taken as a taxi clearance only, not as a takeoff clearance. Watch out, it says. The tower has given you taxi clearance. That should not be interpreted as a takeoff clearance. That's what it is. I'll explain to you, Nadir, and let me explain to them in Amharic.
Okay.
Yaret, ምግብ ቀርቧል። ምግብ ቀርቧል። አንድ 20 ሰዎች 15 ሰዎች ናቸው ምናምን እና አንዱ ይመጣና ያው በስመ አብ ወወልድ ወመንፈስ ቅዱስ ምናምን ይላል። እንደለ ብዙ ጊዜ ሰዎች እንደዚህ ይላሉ። አቤት ባርክልን ምናምን ምናምን። ይሄን ማለቱ ባርክልን ምናምን ማለቱ እንብላ ማለቱ ነው ብሉ ማለቱ ነው ብለህ ነው የምትወስደው ትርጉሙን። ያሬድ
እንደዛ ብዬ አልወስደውም። እንብላ ማለቱ አይደለም
አይደለም እንብላ ሲል ድረስ መጠበቅ አለብን ነው። that's what it is. very simple እኮ ነው። በጣም ቀላል እኮ ነው። ኦኬ እከሌ ምናምን አኝከው ይልሃል። አንድ ነገር አኝከው ይልሃል። አኝከው ዋጥ ማለቱ ነው አይደለም። አኝከው ነው ያለው። ልትተፋው ትችላለህ። አየህ። ስለዚህ ማኘክ እንደ ታክሲ ክሊራንስ ተወስደውና ቴክኦፉን እንደዋጠው ስትወስደው ይገባሃል። ስለዚህ አኝክ ማለት ዋጠው ማለት ካልሆነ ታክሲ ክሬዲት ቱ ታክሲ ማለት ቴክኦፍ ማለት አይደለም። አሁን ገባህ? ተግባባን?
አዎ
ሌላ ምሳሌ ሚሊዮኖች አሉ። አልመጣል ብለው ነው እንጂ ደስ የሚሉ የከተማ ቀልድ ያላቸው ወዝ ያላቸው አሁን አልመጣ ይደርቃሉ፣ አይመጡልህም። አየህ፣ ይሄኔ ነበር የሚያስፈልጉት። አዎ ትምህርት እንደዚህ ስታደርገው ነው ደስ የሚለው። ትምህርት እያዋዛህ እየለወስክ በዋዜ እየለወስክ ስትበላው ነው ደስ የሚለው። እየመረረ የምትበላው ጥሩ አይደለም። ሌላ ብዙ ምሳሌ ፈልጌ ነበር። አንድ ነገር ትሉ ያን የሚቀጥለው ለምሳሌ ምግብ ትበላለህ። ቁጭ አልክ። ቁጭ ብለህ ምግብ ልትበላ ተዘጋጅተሃል። አንድ ሰው ወዲያና ወዲህ ሲሯሯጥ ታያለህ። እዛ ሆቴል ቦታ አጥቶ እና እዚህ ቁጭ በል ትለዋለህ። እዚህ ቁጭ በል ቦታ ወንበር አግኝተህ እዚህ ቁጭ በል ማለት ገብተህ ፈትፍት ማለት ነው። ያንተ ነው ያሬድ አይደለም። that's what it means። በቃ ይሄ ነው። this paragraph is talking about it. Finish. Care should be taken. ማስጠንቀቂያ እኮ ነው። Care should be taken to ensure that the phraseology employed during the taxi maneuvers cannot be interpreted as a clearance to enter the runway or take off. Some aircraft may be required to carry out checks prior to departure and are not always ready for takeoff when they reach the holding point. አንዳንድ አውሮፕላኖች ሆልዲንግ ፖይንት ይሰጣቸዋል። ታክሲ ክሊረንስ ቴክኦፍ ለማድረግ ነው። ቴክኦፍ ለማድረግ መንገደኛ ጫነ ሄደ። ኤርክራፍት ጎስ ቱ ታክሲ ክሊረንስ። ሶሪ ናዲር the example I gave you
but I understood, teacher.
You understood already?
Yeah, in your concept it means like
okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Some aircraft. Okay, now an aircraft has already boarded passengers, is taxiing to the holding point, runway 24, let's say. Holding point, runway 24. Now it says, some aircraft may be required to carry out checks prior to departure and are not always ready for takeoff when they reach the holding point. ቼክ አድርግ የሚባል ነገር አለ። ሜቢ the pilot has to check something before he enters or she enters the runway. He might be required to check the control tower, or maybe his company requires him to check at the holding point. Like running an engine. If it has 2 engines, maybe the left engine is slowing down. There is an indication. There is an indication in the cockpit that the RPM, or the revolution per minute, is very slow. The indication in the aircraft for the pilot. So he wants to check out the engine. He wants to carry out checks before takeoff. He has to have clearance. Check your engine, check fuel, check your flaps before you enter the runway. They might give us example, we'll see. Takeoff procedures continued, backtracking, lineup instructions. It's not giving us example. Anyway, P, pilot. A 7-wheel tower. It's just like Bole Tower, Djibouti Tower, Hargeisa Tower, Cairo Tower. 7-wheel is the name of the tower. That's all. Whenever it comes, or when it precedes the unit, that is the name of the place, the location. So 7-wheel tower, Golf Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta, at the fuel station, VFR to Walden, request taxi for takeoff. What did you understand this? You are right. What did you understand by this? The pilot is saying this. It's very, very simple.
He requested taxi.
Who is that? Rosie?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. Explain to me. Explain to us, anyway.
The pilot requested to taxi. From the fuel station VFR to Walden.
Yes. No, not to Walden. This aircraft, Golf Charlie Delta, is in Stephenville, whatever you pronounce it, because it says Stephenville Tower. So the city is Stephenville, of course. It wants to go to Walden. That's another city. And instead of Stephenville, let's say it's Hargeisa. Walden is Addis. So from Hargeisa to Addis, very simple. It wants to, that's the kind of operation the aircraft is trying to make. That's what the flight plan shows. And it's requesting the tower to taxi from the fuel station for takeoff regarding, not regarding actually, that's what it has. Point of departure is Hargeisa. It's proceeding to Addis. It wants to taxi out. It wants to taxi. It wants to have taxi clearance. Let me make it the other way. It's proceeding from Addis to Dredawa. What's the same? But it's in the hangar now. The aircraft is in the hangar. Its plan is to depart Addis bound for Dredao. So it's requesting taxi clearance. That's what it is. Very simple. Whether it is Stephenville or it's Walden or any other city, we don't care. We can make it. What we care is the procedure correct? Is it procedural? Yes. If it is yes, it is yes. If it is no, it is no. Controller, Golf Charlie Delta, taxi, according to the request, of course. Taxi via taxiway Alpha to holding point runway 06, wind 08010 knots, QNH 1012, time 04. That is past the hour. It could be 1004, it could be 1104, it could be 1304, it could be 2104. It could be the night, during the night. This is past the hour. They are not mentioning the hour because the hour everybody knows it is there. Both of you are using that same hour. So the wind is 08010 knots, QNH 101, time 04. Pilot. Runway 06, QNH 1012, request taxiway Bravo and backtracking. Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. Golf Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. Backtrack. Enter the runway and backtrack. An aircraft is cleared to land. I'm giving you an example. An aircraft is cleared to land. Already landed. It is in the runway. It's a very small airport. It doesn't have many taxiways. ብዙ taxiway የለውም። ድሃ ኤርፖርት ነው። በዛው ባረፈበት ነው ወደ ኋላው የሚመጣው አይደለም እንዴ? ታክሲዌይ የለውማ። So that is what is called backtracking. በመጣበት መመለስ backtrack. That's backtracking. Backtracking usually is where the airport is very small. Usually. Otherwise, በመጣበት ባረፍክበት ባክትራክ ስታደርግ ወደኋላ ስትመለስ ባክትራኪንግ ይባላል። ሁለቱም አጋጥማኝ join the two words backtrack. You track back. Finished. That's backtracking. It's very simple. Golf Charlie Delta taxi via Bravo approved. This taxi cleared. And had I had a board, blackboard, I would have shown you beautifully. But it is very, very, very simple, very minor. It's not a big issue, don't worry. It's just for you to know. That word backtracking, holding point, runway. These things are very important, that's all. What a dispatcher knows will come later on. We have a lot of classes. Air traffic management, flight plan, weight and balance. We have a lot of them. Navigation. We have a lot of fighting. then you will be the real dispatchers. I hope the way I see it, you can make it. I didn't see the rest anyway, but it's only you three. Nadir, Yared, and Rosina. The rest I didn't see. Takeoff procedures continued. We are on page 137. Not 3, 3. 137. When you go to town, you say 13, of course. When you go to Mercato, Piazza, or something like that, you say 13. When you come to Bole, on duty, 13. Talking to the pilot, 13. Talking to your friends in Piazza with a bottle of beer is 13. Okay. Takeoff procedures. Example. What is that? T. T, I don't know. Golf Charlie, tower, maybe tower, it's the tower. Golf Charlie Delta, report when ready for departure. Ah, okay. It's just the terminology, the phraseology, how they are applied. It's just for you to understand. The tower says, Golf Charlie Delta, report when ready for departure. The pilot says, Wilco. So that word Wilco is very important. What does it mean? I have understood, we'll do it accordingly. That's very important. Pilot, Golf Charlie Delta ready. Tower, Golf Charlie Delta, line up and wait. ራስን አስተካክልና ጠብቀኝ. You see, line up and wait. It didn't say take off. It didn't say take off. Line up and wait. Line up and hold. The pilot says lining up. The tower, Golf Charlie Delta, clear for takeoff. Now you are clear for takeoff. Pilot, clear for takeoff. Golf Charlie Delta. Its name, later on. Any question? Menelik, I don't see your picture here anyway.
Yeah, my video doesn't work, the camera.
Oh, I done. Oh, okay. Okay. But you have understood up to now.
Yes.
Any question? Do you have any question?
No, I don't have, sir.
Okay. If you have, please shoot. Because if I answer, I will answer. If I cannot, my students will answer. If my students will answer, can answer. If they cannot do it, we'll refer any book, any manual there, notebook, we refer to the manual. We have lots of them here, no problem. Okay. Controllers should transmit to an aircraft. Controllers should not. Oh. Controllers should not transmit to an aircraft while it is rolling for takeoff or during its early stage of climb, except in case of emergency. What is that, Menelik?
Controllers should not transmit to the pilot, to the aircraft, while it's taking off. If it is in case of any emergencies. You have understood like that.
No, there are two phrases there. There are two phrases. Rolling for
Yeah,
takeoff
rolling
is
for
one phrase.
takeoff.
During its early is another phrase.
Should I speak in Amharic or?
No, there are two things there, two messages.
Yeah.
One is the one,
If the
the one
aircraft,
said,
when the aircraft roll or take off, I mean in the runway, the controllers should not transmit
okay,
the aircraft. If there is an emergency, they can transmit, but if not, they can't transmit the conversation. I mean, and during the early stage of climb, except in case of emergency, this one is also the same. When the aircraft climbs, they should not transmit uh, to the aircraft. If there is emergency while it's clamping, then uh, they shall submit a transmission to the aircraft.
okay, that's the whole idea anyway. That's the whole idea. The controller means the tower, should not transmit to any aircraft when it rolls for takeoff. No. Aircraft rolling for takeoff, nobody should talk to it. These are very, very busy. Number two, during its early stage of climb, except in case of emergency. Also, when the aircraft takes off and is climbing, you should not talk to the pilot unless there is an urgent message which is not transmitted, which should help the pilot to avoid that circumstance. Unless in case of emergency, you should not talk to the pilot until it finishes its climb. Is that clear, Nadir?
Yes, teacher, it's clear. I understood it.
Okay, it's just for your understanding, that's all. This is the duty of the controller and the pilot. The dispatcher has nothing to do, but procedurally, you have to know, you have to have the knowledge. If a pilot, after operation, comes and talks to you that the controller told him, called him on a certain frequency and transmitted all those gadgets during climb, then you'll understand better because you have already learned about it. Okay? For traffic reasons, it may be necessary for the aircraft to take off immediately after lineup. Of course, this is very minor. After lineup, aircraft might be needed. After an aircraft lines up for takeoff, it might take off immediately after lineup for traffic reasons. That's what the controller is after. The controller has the authority to deny the takeoff or to expedite the takeoff. It has all authority, no problem. Examples. Okay, Nadir.
Okay, teacher.
Yes, read for us.
Okay. Controller.
Yeah, you got interrupted. You are ready, you ready?
Yes, sir. I really.
But I don't hear him. I don't hear him. Do you hear him? Do you read Nadir?
What about now? Yeah, I read you. No,
No,
I need
Nadir.
to read him. I think it's out.
I don't read Nadir.
I think it's out. Maybe.
Maybe power is off. Oh, Nadir is coming now.
Teacher, mine it was good. What happened?
We didn't hear you. It just disappeared. No transmission, no picture, no nothing.
How about now?
Now, okay, 5.
Okay.
Shoot.
Controller, Golf Charlie Delta, are you ready for immediate departure? Pilot, Golf Charlie Delta, affirm. Controller, Golf Charlie
Golf
Delta,
Charlie Delta. What?
Yeah.
What did he say?
affirm. Affirm means affirm. Yeah,
It means affirmative.
yeah, affirmative. It is means yes.
Yes. Okay.
As we learn, Golf Charlie Delta, line up ready for immediate departure. Pilot, Golf Charlie Delta, lining up. Controller, Golf Charlie Delta, cleared for takeoff. Pilot, cleared for takeoff, Golf Charlie Delta. So I think it is.
I don't think there is any question. It's clear.
Yeah, it is clear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what both say. One says one thing, the other one responds, the other one requests, and the controller authorizes. Okay. Takeoff procedures continued. Okay, Rosina, would you read for us? Departure message is normally transmitted.
Rosina, she's not here, teacher.
Okay.
Maybe she lost the
Yared.
connection.
Okay, Yared, departure. Would you read for us?
Okay. Departure message is normally transmitted to the control tower, and when the aircraft has considered to be safely airborne.
Yeah, what does it mean? I think there is a grammar mistake down there. I think so. Okay. Departure message is normally transmitted to the control tower, and when the aircraft has considered safely airborne. What is it? Well, all the same. When the aircraft has considered to be safely airborne, of course. Departure message is normally transmitted. An aircraft lines up and takes off. So after the departure, the transmission, the departure message is transmitted to the control tower, and when the aircraft has considered to be safely airborne. Oh, somebody, she's making it. Okay, departure message is usually transmitted to the control tower. Okay, that's one thing. But and when the aircraft has considered to be safely airborne, of course, safely airborne, the tower looks at it. The tower is always after the departing aircraft. What is that second line? What do you understand? I don't understand clearly. When the aircraft has considered, and when the aircraft is considered to be safely, if it is, yes, I understand. Has, I don't understand. Anyway, the whole thing is departure message is normally transmitted when everything is safe. Everything is safe after departure. Naturally to the control tower. usually to the control tower. And sometimes it happens, the control tower, maybe its receiver doesn't work or something happens, you call ground and transmit the departure message to ground. Or you call the approach control, the next controlling authority. And tell the approach code, oh, okay, Rosina is coming.
Yes, teacher. There was a connection problem.
Okay, I understand. Addis Ababa is full of problems, I understand. No, don't worry. Until we get rid of it. MashaAllah. All right. Departure message. Departure message include. Who can correct that grammar? Departure message include. Who can correct that grammar? That's full of mistakes here, grammar mistake. Because the previous one, when the aircraft is considered to be safely airborne, should have been is. Okay, now I overlooked. Another grammar mistake there. Departure message include. What is the grammar mistake? Grammatical mistake, of course. Menelik.
Yes, sir.
What is the grammar mistake there? Departure message include. Or how should it should be written? How should it be written? Or how could you correct it? Have you been in my place? Huh?
Departure, you say, should include someone else.
No. Right there. Departure message include. I am saying is grammatically wrong. What is the mistake? Rosina.
Yes, teacher.
What is the mistake?
Departure message includes.
What?
Includes.
Includes. Yes. Said because departure message is it. It includes S. Or make it the other way, Rosina. Make it the other way. Departure messages. Then you leave include as it is. Yes. There are two ways. Departure message includes S. Or departure messages include.
What about should include?
Huh?
What about should include? Departure message should include.
There is no will. As it is next, departure message.
I say should.
There is no will.
I say should. It's not will.
Should, no. Why should you include another word? You could include thousands of words, of course. I said as it is, the three words, departure message include. What is the mistake? So the very mistake is includes, as Rosina said, should be three, should be S, because departure message means it, it's the third party. She includes, he includes, I include, you include. It's grammar. It's already there. Okay, departure messages include. Now S already. You leave include as it is. Okay, Rosina?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right. It's just መንገድ ላይ ካገኘው እንነጋገር ብዬ ነው። ዝም ብዬ መሄድ ነው ወንጀል ነው ብዬ ነው። የዘንድሮ ትምህርት ካሪኩለም እንኳን ደካማ ነው። ወዳችሁ አይደለም። ኤኒዌይ ካሪኩለሙ ተበላሽቷል። ልክ አይደለም። ትምህርት ሚኒስቴር እያሻሻለው ነው። ሱል ሲ ሌተር ኦን ዶንት ወሪ you will be good students. Okay, departure messages or departure message includes, please put S there after E. Includes Nadir.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
Or you put S after message and then leave it as it is.
Okay.
Okay. Departure messages include airborne time, level passing, level climbing to, estimate next reporting point, and ETA destination. Okay. Now, I'll give you one thing only, otherwise I will leave everything for you to fill in. Estimate next reporting point. Next reporting point is the same. An aircraft is now flying from Addis to Asmara. The fourth sentence, estimate reporting points and ETA destination. My destination is Asmara. Reporting point, next reporting point is the same. Anytime you want. Who takes that example? I'll give you 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes. Usually Rosina will make this, I know, but I'll wait and see. She might lose it today, I don't know. She didn't have good breakfast. Yes, Rosina.
Sorry, teacher, can you just say it again?
Huh?
Can you just say it again? ትንሽ ይቆራረጥ ነበር. Sorry.
You didn't get it?
Yeah.
Departure message includes airborne time, level passing, level climbing to, estimate next reporting points and ETA destination. Because you don't know point of departure and destination, I gave you. Point of departure is Addis, destination is Asmara. You can create your own time of reporting, flight level passing through, flight level climbing to, and destination arrival. You can create your own. I just want to hear from you if you have understood correctly. This also includes Menelik, of course, because I don't see your picture here. Does not mean you are not included. You are included, definitely. Yes?
Okay. Let me try.
Yes, Rosie.
Airborne time 0400.
Very good.
Level passing 100. Level climbing to 300.
All right.
Estimated next report point is to
Dase?
Asmara. Yeah.
No. Next reporting point. I say Dese. That's the reporting
To
point between
Asmara.
Addis. Asmara is destination.
Yeah, the destination. Okay.
Reporting point.
Okay. It can be Mekelle or something.
It can be Makale also, anytime.
Mekelle.
Ah,
And ETA destination will be Asmara.
ETA.
Estimated
ETA,
time.
estimated time arrival. ETA means
Ah.
ETA. Ah,
Estimated time arrival.
ah.
The time is 0800.
Very good. Now, you
To
give us
Asmara.
once again, Rosina, you give us once again, because our transmission, our sentences were
Okay.
intermittent.
Airborne time 0400.
Yes,
Level passing 100.
yes,
Level climbing 2300.
yes,
Estimated next report will be Mekelle.
yes.
And ETA estimated time arrival will be 0800. Destination to Asmara.
Beautiful. Rosina, beautiful. Excellent. That's what it is. Very simple, actually. But exactly that is what it is. Except the last one. You say ETA Asmara and then give the time. Estimated time arrival, ETA. ETA Asmara 1000 or 0800, whatever it is. That's what it is. Very simple. Who can give me another example? Yaredu. Any other example?
Okay. Okay. And 0230 level passing
Wait a minute.
100.
You are in a hurry. Yared, you are in a hurry. Slowly, like Rosina.
Okay. Time. Okay, sorry.
What time?
Airborne time 0230. 0230.
Okay. Yes.
Level passing 100.
Not
Climb
necessary.
level
Give me another
201.
level. Give me another level, Yared. 100 is Rosina.
Okay. Level passing is 200 or 300.
Okay. Okay, level passing.
Level climb 4.
Level climbing 2.
ETA does a 430.
You don't listen. So would you say again? You are in a hurry. Speak slowly, slowly. Would you repeat again everything? So, Yared, you have already finished, or no? You didn't finish. You give me another example. Just
Okay.
2-3 minutes.
Okay. Airborne time 0T30. Level passing 200. Level climbing 250. ETA does a 0330.
This is the reporting point. Where is the destination? ETA. You see, there are two. The fourth line is the next position and then the destination. There are two things there. Next position, between Addis and Asmara, there are 2 points, I have told you, reporting points, Dase and Makale. So reporting point is either Dase or Makale, and then ETA, estimated time of arrival, Asmara, time 1200 or whatever it is. It's very simple. Nadir.
Oh, okay, teacher. And I give you example, yeah?
Yeah, very
Okay.
fast.
Okay, but I'm taking the origin and the destination point, Addis Ababa to Djibouti, and estimating or negative reporting point will be Dirdaba for me.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so airborne time 1330, level passing 150, level climbing 350, negative
Three
reporting
what? Three what?
350.
Okay.
Next reporting point will be Dirdaba. Destination point will be Djibouti at time 1430.
Okay. That is ETA destination, ETA Djibouti. We say ETA Djibouti.
Okay.
ETA destination, it says ETA Djibouti. Okay, that's all. I think it's very simple.
Yep. Yeah, it's simple.
I concentrated on this message because it concerns the dispatcher, you know. It concerns the dispatcher. Okay, takeoff procedures continued. Page 141. Departing VFR flights, when handled by approach control and unit, may get information on relevant known traffic in order to assist the pilots in maintaining their own separation. There are flights which are VFR. They are departing. These flights were handled by approach control unit. That means ground control gives it to the control tower. The control tower, after an aircraft takes off and climbs through a certain level, it transfers it to the approach control. That's what it says. When handled by approach control unit, may get information on relevant known traffic in order to assist the pilots in maintaining their own separation. This means when a VFR flight after departure is handled by approach control, it is given all kinds of assistance to separate it from another aircraft and avoid collision. That's all. That's what it says. Very simple. Simply because it's written in English, it seems very heavy. It's not. Very simple. Sometimes pilots will maintain their own separation. Alpha Bravo, this is Charlie Delta. I have seen you. Oh, I have seen you also. You are around 12 o'clock, or they have their own position reporting. I can see you. Oh, yes, yes, yes. You are above me. I am under you. You are below me. You are Abim me. Abim, you know. Abim means TU. TU ማለት ነው Abim. TU. It's a sideways position. The one to the left or to the right is called Abim. We'll come to it in air traffic control study. No problem. Pilots should report when they are leaving the area of jurisdiction of the approach control unit. The above sentence says the approach control helps VFR flights so that they will maintain their own separation and they will communicate each other. He will assist them so. The second sentence says, when pilots are leaving the approach control area, they have to tell the approach controller, we are leaving your approach control. Good day. We are leaving your approach control area. Good day. Jurisdiction, the responsibility of the approach control unit. If they are leaving that area, maybe the approach zone or the control zone, there are so many classes of airspaces. Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, so many classes. They are very tiresome to have them orally. You have to refer to them now and then. So when an aircraft leaves that area of responsibility, that area of jurisdiction, it has to notify the approach control. That's what it is. Finished. Cross-country departures. Cross-country departures. Cross-country actually is a training aircraft. They're very training aircraft. Going out of the zone of Bole zone, like they go to Debre Zeit, they go to Bale, they go to Robe, or they go to Nakante, they go to Wallaga, they go to Arsi, they go to Makale. That's a cross-country flight. For training aircraft, of course. That's too far for them because they don't have the speed. So it's giving you example. Bole ground, Echo Tango Alpha Papa Delta, 2 souls on board. Soul means passenger. 2 souls on board. Endurance 4 hours. Cross-country flight. Request taxi clearance for takeoff. To give you a good example, Bole ground, this is Echo Papa Delta. 2 passengers on board. Endurance 4 hours. I am on cross-country flight to Nakant, western region of Ethiopia. Wallaga, I'm flying to Wallaga. Request taxi clearance for takeoff. You will give the normal taxi clearance, the wind, the QNH, the number of the runway. If it is holding point, it's holding point. If it is right away into the runway, it will give you enter the runway and take off. The controller. Papa Delta, Bole taxi, holding point, runway 07 right, via Bravo X-ray 25 right, 07 left, Bravo, wind calm, there is no wind, wind calm, QNH 1027 millibars. Pilot, holding point 07 right, is reading back, read back. That's what they call read back. Holding point 07 right, via Bravo X-ray 25 right, 07 left. Bravo, QNH 1027, Papa Delta. Then finally, the registration mark of the aircraft. The last 2 letters. Very simple. The controller tells him, the pilot first requests its intention that is going to to Dasri or Lalibela, anywhere, to Gode or Warder or anywhere, cross-country flight. It wants taxi clearance. is given. Taxi clearance is given to taxi via the taxiway. Those positions, B, Bravo, 2, that should not worry you. We'll see then when we come to air traffic control service training. They are very clear. Does not worry you, should not worry you. Okay, Nadir, who can read page 143. They are very
Okay.
simple.
Okay, teacher. Pilot, Pole Tower, Papa Delta, request line up and take off. Controller, Echo Tango, Alpha, Papa Delta, cleared line up and take off. Wind 120 degree /12 notice.
Okay.
Pilot cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, he's reading back. Very
Yeah, it's
simple.
reading.
Yeah. Wind usually is headwind.
Teacher, how we could measure the wind?
The tower
After-
gives you. The tower gives you. The control tower
Okay.
has an instrument.
Okay. So it's not our job to know how to measure.
No, the control tower, in the control tower itself. I have been controlling, by the way, I have been a controller in the control tower approach, area control.
Okay.
I had my own training in Cairo. There is no problem. I've been working in the tower. So everything is there. You see it in black and white. There is an instrument which shows him the wind direction. There is a wind sock. And then you didn't see what he called the wind sock የሚሉት አለ ማዳበሪያ ከረጢት አይነት ሜዳ ላይ ንፋስ የሚያንገላታው ያ ዳይሬክሽን የሚነግር ነው። Anyway, we'll see that one later. So the control tower has an instrument in the tower itself which measures the direction of the wind and the intensity. The QNH, the meteorologist will give him the QNH through telephone. Now the QNH is that much. Pressure measuring. Cross-country departure example. Yes, Yared, page 144. Yared is not there.
He's not here. Yeah.
Okay, Rosina.
Okay.
Speak louder.
Okay. Pilot, Bole Hotel Alpha departed at 5-4, crossing 10,000 feet for flight level 105, estimating gather at 11.
Estimating
Five.
Gooder.
Gooder at 1125 Jimma, at 1145 back to Addis at 1230. Controller, Hotel Alpha, Roger, report leaving control zone. Pilot, report leaving control zone, Hotel Alpha.
That's all. So this is the training flight. You can see. The pilot said it had departed at 5:04. So the hour is maybe it is 1054. Maybe it's 1054. Because it's you see there Gooder at 1125. That is after departure. ጉደር is a position. ጉደር የቢራ ፋብሪካ ያለበት ነው። It's a beer factory. Estimating Gudar 1125, Jimma 1145, Alice 1230. Hotel Alpha Roger reports living control zone. Control zone depends upon, maybe it's about 10 nautical miles radius or 15 nautical miles radius. Depends upon the airport anyway. Control zone. Do you have any question, Menelik? Oh, David is coming. David. I can see your name here.
David.
David.
አቤት
ጤና ይስጥልኝ። ድምፅህንም አልሰማሁም እስካሁን። ገጽ 144
ከመጀመሪያው ጀምሮ።
ኦኬ፣ ገጽ 144 ላይ ነኝ። እየተከተልከኝ ነው? Okay, as far as possible, which I think is a must, we are forced to give you every instruction in English, no Amharic, unless otherwise the need arises that we have to do it in Amharic. We have to do every exercise, every training in English. It is a must in capital letters. Must. M-U-S-T, capital letters. Because after your qualification, supposing you have a job in the Middle East, you go to Dubai, you get a job, you are lucky. How do you talk to the people there? In Amharic, nobody listens to you. So they will let you back to Addis. And instead of getting $4,000 a month, you lose the chance. Yeah. There is no arbitration. They might call you in America, any one of the states. You cannot go there and say, runway man, he doesn't listen to you. What the bloody fucking is talking about, you will say. What are you talking about? Are you a dispatcher? Yes. Where did you come from? Ethiopia. Oh. And you don't know English? I know, but you don't talk properly. You don't know the phraseologies, you don't know the terminology, you don't know nothing. How did they give you the license? How did Civil Aviation give you the license? You will be ashamed. So to avoid that, you have to trim it now, here, right here in Addis, with me and with all other instructors who are eager to teach you, who are eager to instruct you in English. Try to avoid that person who instructs you in Amharic. You might understand better in Amharic. I understand. You might understand. But later on, you'll have a problem. Nobody wants a dispatcher in Amharic only. Nobody wants. Nobody does. So as for myself, I will instruct you in English with proper grammatical applications, with proper terminologies, with proper phraseologies. And if the need arises, yes, I will make it in Amharic, like I did before. If I want to explain in Amharic, I will explain to you and request Nadir, sorry, Nadir, I made it in Amharic. I'll explain it later to you. And I will explain. If he understands, I will leave it there. If he doesn't, I will explain. Otherwise, to summarize, everything has to be in English. Ladies and gentlemen, no Amharic, no nothing, no way. It has to be in English. Okay, takeoff procedures. Example. Rosina, page 145.
Yes.
I'm a bit tired. That's why I'm giving you the example.
Okay. Pilot, Bole, Papa Delta, departed at 40, passing 8500, climbing 10,000, proceeding west of the lake. Tower, Papa Delta, Bole Roger, report reaching west of the lake. Pilot, Papa Delta, will go.
That's all. Very simple. The pilot says, I took off at 40, whatever the time, say 0840, passing 8,500, climbing to 10,000 feet, proceeding to west of the lake. Usually Lake Akaki, that's what they make the training. Papa Delta Roger will go. I have understood, will do. That's what it says. Again, another problem. Aerodrome traffic circuit, the one I showed you yesterday, the pattern. This is a traffic pattern. We had enough problem yesterday anyway. So you put your right hand there on 45 entry, you see there, only downwind, bad leg and final, okay?
Yes.
Otherwise you confuse everything. This should be on board, on any blackboard, you know. Otherwise we can't make it. Aerodrome traffic circuit pattern operation. You read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. We have only a few minutes to go.
Yes.
Read it for yourself. Anybody who is volunteer to explain to me, to explain to the whole class, of course, would do it so. Read it properly. It's interesting anyway. That's usually VFR flight. Usually. Training flight. So, transit pattern, as you know, is that downwind, bad leg, and final. Actually, it's a bit complicated when you have two runways. Runway left, runway right. It's a bit complicated, but basically it has the same meaning. Downwind, bad leg, final. So the first sentence says, for instructions to join the traffic circuit should be made in sufficient time to allow for planned entry into circuit, taking other traffic into account. Supposing there is an aircraft flying, a training aircraft in Lake Akaki, is training there. It wants to come and land. So this first sentence says, it should contact Bole Tower ahead of enough time. Ahead, well in good time, that it's coming for landing following the traffic pattern, so that the control tower will arrange other flights, other traffic to avoid complication. That's what it says. We'll continue next time. Maybe tomorrow, if the office is not closed, we'll continue tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Nadir,
Yes, okay.
it's 12 o'clock
Okay.
lunchtime. So see you tomorrow in the morning,
Okay.
10 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, teacher. See you.
Okay, good day.
በትምህርት ከፍ ብሎ መብረር ይቻላል። ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ከከፍተኛ ትምህርት አግባብነትና ጥራት ኤጀንሲ ሙሉ ዕውቅናን ባገኘንባቸው በማስተርስ ዲግሪ ኤምቢኤ በስትራቴጂክ ማኔጅመንት፣ ኤምቢኤ በባንኪንግ እና ፋይናንስ፣ ኤምቢኤ በቢዝነስ ሊደርሺፕ፣ ኤምቢኤ በሪስክና ኢንሹራንስ፣ ኤምኤስሲ በኢንተርናሽናል ትሬድ እና ኢኮኖሚክስ ዘርፎች በእውቀት ለመቅረጽ የበቁ ፕሮፌሰሮቻችን አረንጓዴ መብራታቸውን አብርተዋል። በነገራችን ላይ በኬንያ ሀገር ከሚገኙ ስመጥር ዩኒቨርሲቲዎች በሚመጡ ፕሮፌሰሮች የትኩረት መስክ ትምህርቶቹ መሰጠታቸው ልዩ ያደርገናል። በምርጥ የትምህርት ስርዓት የተገነባው ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ በመጀመሪያ ዲግሪ በአቪዬሽን ማኔጅመንት፣ በሆቴል ማኔጅመንት፣ በአካውንቲንግና ፋይናንስ፣ በማርኬቲንግ ማኔጅመንት አስተማማኝ ትምህርት ይገቢውና ራስዎንና ሀገሮን ይለውጡ። አድራሻ 22 አደባባይ ወደ ሾላ በሚወስደው መንገድ ላይ ናሽናል አቪዬሽን ኮሌጅ የናሽናል ኤርዌይስ እህት ኩባንያ ህልሞን እውን ያደርጋል።